Hey, it's Matt Roush.
And Mike Brennan.
And we are coming to you over Zoom as people are doing these days. All meetings are virtual these days. So this one is too. And we want to welcome you to this edition of the M Squared TechCast at MITechNews.TV.
And we have calling in from way far away, Melih Oztalay, who, disclaimer, he's my webmaster and does my marketing for me online and all that jazz. And so he's with Smart Finds Marketing out of main office is Birmingham, although he is based a little outside of Birmingham. And so what we're going to be talking about today with Melih is, well, it's kind of what's going on with business in the sense of everyone. I know I had a lot of contracts that were supposed to start in April and everyone suspended them because they're all kind of, should we advertise, should we not? What's your thinking on that, Melih?
You know, I think we're in a very interesting situation, and it's honestly not that much different from our 2009, 2010 economic crisis, not to mention that we all experienced that firsthand in the Motor City. I think the answer to the question is don't pull back. Your competitors are pulling back. That's great. That's an opportunity for you. You need to push forward and continue to spend your marketing dollars, including your advertising dollars. Keep your brand in front of people. Now, here's what we run into in this particular scenario. We run into the problem that my fellow baby boomers, I love to bash my fellow baby boomers because they're so bad at this. They tend to want to attribute every dime to some sale. And during an economic crisis like this, that is not an option. You're investing in your brand to be in front of the market. That's the answer to the question. So don't pull back right now because your competitors are.
And isn't there some measure of reassurance involved in that as well? Like, you know, we're still going to be here?
Well, exactly. I mean, what you're doing is you're garnering trust. You're letting the market know that you are, not only are you solid, but they can trust you. You're going to be around in 3 months when this whole thing starts to shake out. So yes, you want to be able to present that. You want to present that to the market in a way that they're going to be able to say, "Yep, I know this brand."
Okay, let's also talk about another thing that you're big on, which is relationship marketing. How does that play into this right now?
So one of the things about this whole process of keeping yourself in front of everybody is really, again, don't cut your spending. Make sure that you're keeping yourself in front of the market. But what you want to be able to do is tap into the social space, the whole virtual world. And again, I apologize for my baby boomers, but they don't do a very good job in the virtual world. And what should be social selling, and that's been a term that's been on the market for a number of years. Social selling should be number one on their list. And it's not. They're still continuing doing the cold phone calls, making the phone calls, going to conferences, putting themselves at risk and expending unnecessary time and energy. Rather, especially if you're B2B, get onto LinkedIn, develop relationships in LinkedIn in such a way that people recognize who you are. You're building trust. But I will tell you this, social selling, and let's say we're using LinkedIn as our tool, allows you to be much more efficient. If you can only do, I'm just throwing out some numbers right now. Let's say you can only do 100 phone calls in a day, right? Through LinkedIn, you're able to stay in contact with a few hundred people within a day. It's a lot more efficient. And you start to develop a relationship with individuals within the marketplace. They can be partners, they can be strategic partners, they could be vendors, they could be clients or prospective clients. You're developing relationships in such a way that you're going to end up with sales. And again, using the same initial topic, this is the time to go into that marketplace and to develop those relationships today. So social selling is a form of relationship marketing.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I was just wondering, you also talk about the concept of social nurturing. Let's talk about that for a little bit.
All right. So in order to be able to do social selling, in order to develop these, to do relationship marketing, building these relationships inside of the social communities, one of the things you're going to need to do is you need to tap into, so let's say, and I'm just throwing that as an example, let's say that you share something from your company blog. You share it, and again, when you look at social media marketing, it falls into two categories. It's either passive or it's active. So passive social media marketing is what most people do. And when I say most people, I'm saying most companies. So what they're doing is they're using tools like Hootsuite, and they're automating their social media marketing. That only goes so far. The next step really is, let's say that you shared a blog post from your company. You're going to want to make sure you have the right hashtags in there to get the right attention. You're going to want to tag other people, and basically, and I use this loosely, you're basically forcing them to come to that post that you shared and ask them to make a comment. If they comment, they're more likely to like what you posted. The more likes and comments you get, the more attention you get in these social communities. It doesn't really make a difference which one. And that in turn expands your viral marketing, it expands your brand and gets the message out. So this process is very important when it comes to not holding back right now, getting involved in terms of social selling and relationship marketing. And as part of your arsenal of things to do, you want to nurture what you're doing in social communities.
Is there?
There's some of the.
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead, Mike. No, go ahead, Mike.
I actually am looking at a sheet that you sent me that you talked about some Google accounts and things like that. What's going on with those? Can you explain what's happening with those?
Yes, absolutely. So this is a good time when our first topic was, hey, don't hold back right now, right? Spend your advertising and the marketing dollars. You may not see an ROI the way you want it to right now, but eventually there is. A lot of the companies, large corporations, are in fact helping small businesses right now in particular. So Google just announced a $340 million Google Ads credit that they're giving to small businesses. There is one caveat that they don't have in their blog post about this, though. You need to have been active in your Google Ads account since the beginning of 2019. So they're not just giving it for free or saying, hey, everybody's got an active Google account. Rather, they're saying it has to have been active since the beginning of 2019. Then we will give you this credit. If you do fall into that category, then the credit that they will give you, which they will add to your account, Google Ads account, if I understood the news correctly, sometime in the next month or 2 months, you have until the end of the year to use that credit. How much is the credit? Again, that seems to be a big unknown as well. But considering that Google has opened this up worldwide, I'm going to say, what we usually have seen from Google in the past is you get $50 or $100 credit, which could be beneficial, especially if you run a $10 a day ad that can last you for a good month or more. So not a bad situation, but Google is one of these. Facebook has a similar type of program that you might want to take a closer look at. Amazon is on board with helping small businesses. GoFundMe started a program in terms of being able to help businesses out as well. To be perfectly honest with you, the list goes on. There's quite a number of large corporations with cash on hand trying to figure out how to help small businesses survive this current pandemic. I think it's a good thing on their part because it's been in the news that Google's advertising spend has been dropping. So what they're trying to do is keep everybody in the market and to continue to spend, number one. But even, like I said, even if these companies didn't do this, I'm still of the philosophy that you need to stay in the market. You need to figure out how to continue your marketing activities, run your ads, and get involved in social media marketing, especially in the B2B world. Get into LinkedIn and continue your efforts.
So how do you think companies could best use their budget, including these little freebies here and there during this crisis? What's the best way to use it?
So there's a few different ways to think about this. The budgets are not that big, but let's start with the advertising, which I think most people understand the easiest way. So what you could do is run, let's say, a $10 a day ad spend. That's not bad, especially if you use the geographic tools and the other tools to hone in on targeting your audience. So instead of trying to going after 100,000 people, consider going after 100 people. That might be better. I understand the 100 example is extreme, but narrow your advertising to an area that makes sense, whether it's geography, which is most likely. The next item might be industry. The next item might be, for example, if you're targeting individuals, what level within a corporation they are. Do you want to only target C-levels or managers or directors, that type of thing? Narrow your focus. And this way you can take advantage of this $100 or $50 or whatever number of dollars that you're able to get from these other corporations, plus your own ad spend. You can draw it out so that because I'm pretty confident we're going to need to make it last for the next 90 days to get over this hump. Let's see what happens by the time we get to August and September. So think of this from April, May, June, possibly July. Plan your budgets out accordingly. Best suggestion I have to this question is narrow your targeting.
Okay. And so this is now shameless plug time. So you get to talk about how people can reach out to you to get your assistance on how to spend their money during this pandemic times.
No doubt. So first of all, my first name is Melih. My last name is Oztalay. I am the CEO of Smart Finds Marketing. We're located in Birmingham, Michigan. We've been in business for over 25 years. Our entire focus is digital marketing. We're a digital marketing agency. We manage a client's entire web presence, whether it's their domain names, their websites, their marketing, their advertising, their local ecosystem, their newsletters, their CRMs, etc. Essentially, after this many years, we have a lot of experience. We have a lot of knowledge that we use to develop these strategic tools. And I would suggest to get more information, come to our website, smartfindsmarketing.com.
Okay.
All right. Thanks very much, Melih Oztalay, smartfindsmarketing.com. Thanks for being with us
Traditional
today.
four-year students love Lawrence Technological University's thriving campus life, but LTU has always met non-traditional students' needs too. Lawrence Tech offers over 100 degree and certificate programs that can get adult students started or back on track. And most of our classes are conveniently offered evenings at our beautiful Southfield campus or online, so you can balance your social, family, and work life even while you power up your career. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.